Hello, welcome to the next little video. This one's on Pan at Lane Cove. So Pan at Lane Cove is quite noticeable for a lot of this Greek and Roman mythology that I talked about before, and he's really utilizing these symbols of the past of Greek and Roman romantic sort of mythology to put forward this sense of nostalgia for some of the values of the past, maybe, and kind of returning to that way of living. So let's just think about, walk through the poem. So it begins with this really kind of monstrous, vivid image, this coming alive of this kind of creature, if you like, scaly with poison, bright with flame, great fungi, steam beside the gate. So it's the kind of thing that's powerful, it gets everywhere, run tentacles through the flagstone cracks, comes from underneath and it's out of control, or claw beyond where meditate. So it could be something that exists within the writer's own psyche. We've been reading a lot of these poems through this psychoanalytical lens, where we've been applying our knowledge of Slessor being in the war and his kind of imagining his emotional struggle to make sense of this experience. Perhaps we've been thinking about his personal struggle as well with the life and death. But it can also, on a social sort of level, be looking at representing different ideas and ideologies, perhaps, that you could think of as being pre and post-war. So the changes that happened as a result of the war and that he saw around. We know that he wrote in that journal in which he tried to put forward, was sort of a little bit political. Anyway, so continuing on, we've got wet poplars on a pitchy lawn. Some seigneur of colonial fame has planted here a stone-cut faun whose flute just juts like a frozen flame. So we've got a really nice sense of rhyme in this order. It's very precise and it's very clear in what it's putting forward. That rhyming scheme and meter and rhythm gives it a cohesion that makes it seem very organized and truthful, maybe like credible. So he's some seigneur of a colonial fame, so someone of the past that was important out of history, has put forward this stone-cut faun, this statue with a flute, and it's this frozen flame. But also the frozen flame kind of represents, it's an oxymoron that's been chosen because it can sort of represent something that was cut off, this flame, this set of ideas and values that's sort of being cut. A lonely faun, what songs are these, for skies where no immortals hide? Why finger in this dour abode those panpipes girdled at your side? For gods and Hellas too have passed, forsaken are the Cyclades, and surely faun, you are the last to pipe such ancient songs as these. So he's the end of an era. He represents values and ideas that are no longer here. Perhaps also this sense of he's abandoned and no longer. It's a conversation that's happening to your gods and Hellas. So he's speaking to the faun, forsaken, and the words that are used imply a tenderness for the faun, for this stone creature, forsaken. So, but it's sort of advising him to keep on going, yet blow your stone-lipped flute and blow those red and silver pipes of Pan. And Pan was the god of music, wind and mountains, of kind of unrestrained romantic idealism. Cold stars are bubbling around the moon. So right now, here, cold stars are bubbling around the moon. So it's a different place, but back where you are through heaven's archipelago, there's kind of this connection to this other place. Blow, blow your flute, you stone boy, blow. So keep on going. Maybe you'll come alive again. Maybe you'll bring brings some of this energy back. And you again got this kind of repetition of and conversational sort of style. This appeal to Chiron, the wisest just of some centaurs. So centaurs is kind of that figure of that half horse, half person, which at this time, in this whole kind of resurgence of romantic imagery in literature, was really seen as a noble creature, rather than originally, I think it was more sort of a different connotation, but in this period of history, it's sort of thought of that. Some beautiful language. The night has looped a smoky scarf round Campanile in the town. So the Campanile is the bell tower. It's noticeable he doesn't use the word bell. Now earth is ripe for Pan again. And I think we know, don't we, that bell, he often used bell to symbolize the passing of time towards death. And I think if we can think of that possibly in the back of our mind, we can notice that he doesn't use that, but he's saying in the bell tower, perhaps he's saying in that time of war, but now we're ready for Pan again. Pan, like partying and music and song. We're ready to celebrate. The earth is ripe again. And the barbaric ways and pain and rout and revels of old Samian men. So Samian men are kind of Greek, possibly warrior type men who came from an island, a Greek island. And Clontarf is associated with the meadow of the bull battle and kind of Viking times. It's like this warlike figure, sort of a Gaelic kind of mythology, I think. But basically, when we're ready to move on from war, O Chiron, pipe your centaurs out, so bring out the wisdom and the truth. So it's just continuing on this idea of come and live again, come and dance, come and be the spark before the music dies, before your own spark gets extinguished. And then again, this layering and rhyming, this beautiful euphonic imagery. So euphonic, this collection of lovely images of this Greek and Roman mythology. Dance a while in paradise like men of fire above Lane Cove. So come and get that your vision and your passion and your energy back while you can.